running the mothership. Jontay Porter, he's gone. He is not coming back. Here's something I saw someone respond to this. He played 11 games in his NBA career prior to this year. Most of what he did was grind through the G League to get back into the league or get into the league, and yet he is done. And it looks like he not only bet on the Raptors, but he bet on the Raptors to lose. And I think in those bets, he lost.
Well, he made a bet on himself to underperform and then told the coaches that, once he already hit that under, that he had a stomach bug and had to come out of the game, which is, not something even the coaches are going to be like, you don't have a stomach bug. I dare you to, keep going. Like, it's like, well, I don't want that to happen. So he came out of the game. This is a good news, bad news situation. The bad news is that, yes, these things are more readily available. Sports betting is legal, across the country in a lot of states now. But the good news is that this happened so fast and people figure it out because there are safeguards in place that, caught it. And he got caught, and now he's banned for life. So I think that's the good news of it. The bad news is that there's still, again, a lot of stuff to be worked out with the proliferation of sports betting.
Yeah, I mean, we can only expect to see more stories like this, I think. I mean, unless, everybody sees this and is just so alarmed by the repercussions that they determine that it's not worth the risk. But when you're talking about millions of dollars and tens of millions of dollars and hundreds of, not thousands of people that are all probably trying to get that inside track to go and then therefore make millions of dollars and promising you a batch of that dough if you can help them out, we are likely to see a recurring story like this. How recurring, I think, remains to be seen. But, yeah, this is obviously historic news in American sports. I mean, he's not the first guy to get popped for gambling, not the first guy to be banned. But when's the last time it happened? Do you guys know? Do you guys have any? I mean, was it Pete Rose? I don't know. I don't know.
I think there might have been another NBA, and I can't. But
Timmy Donaghy, but he was a referee.
Yeah,
so
right.
True. So I asked that out of the blue because I don't know. It just kind of popped into my head.
Ridley in the NFL, Calvin Ridley, right?
But he was banned for life.
No, that's right. Yeah,
not
you're
banned
right.
for life, where you're not allowed to ever play again. That's what the question I'm asking is, because it just popped into my head, and I didn't know. Maybe you guys knew that off the cuff. So yeah, this is historic from that standpoint, and a big warning shot. So whoever the next pro athlete is in America that gets popped for something, if that happens, they can't say they weren't warned, because the Porter story is a big warning. But yeah, not all that surprising. Just not really well done on his part when you look into it. But as Paul said, the safeguards in place, the sports books saw some funny business going on, relayed that to the proper authorities, and they launched their investigation and came to these conclusions. But yeah, you read into the details of it, and was it worth it? I mean, was it worth it in the long run? I don't know. Probably not, it looks like. But, yeah, this is definitely interesting news. And this is the era that we live in now. I grew up in a no gambling whatsoever era. I know that y'all did as well. And now there's going to be lots and lots and lots of people who grew up where this is all they know is that gambling's involved. And DraftKings is going to be like one of their day one memories is seeing that commercial the same way I maybe saw a Michelin commercial when I was younger, you know?
Yep.
So this is the start, I think, in some ways, of the new era and the policing of it and what that's all going to look like.
Yeah, the names that you think about in pro athletes, and I did kind of get a little bit of a glimpse that you think about Pete Rose, Lance Armstrong is one, Tanya Harding for a bizarre reason.
That wasn't gambling.
Yeah, but banned for life, yeah. And Shoeless Joe Jackson was another name that was a huge part of when I grew up reading that story. And yeah, but there aren't a lot when it comes to football, basketball, baseball, and even hockey.
Well, yeah, Tanya Harding was not gambling. Lance Armstrong was not gambling. So, yeah, Shoeless Joe and Pete Rose, the whole Black Sox scandal. And then, obviously, we know all too well about Pete Rose and his story. And, he's still fighting to try to get into the Hall of Fame, despite the fact that they've let it be known time and time again that's not happening. So it's not a long list. But now with the proliferation
most of them, the Olympic athletes and stuff like that.
Yeah, with the proliferation of gambling, though, in this country, especially sports gambling in particular, this new Wild West that everybody's trying to get a piece of. I think that we'll probably see some more. Hopefully not too much, but yeah, there is a historic moment going on here with this Porter news.
Chris Vanini earlier today from theathletic.com, he asked this question on a Twitter feed. You had the Alabama baseball coach's friend, but that was gambling.
And that was moronic. That was just so dumb.
Well, most of this is too. Are sports betting scandals being caught because of great protections, or are we watching or only catching the people being stupid about it?
Well, that's a very good question to ask. And Craig just said, yeah, the guys are being stupid. Like Keishon Butte was being stupid about it. Calvin Ridley, I don't think he even really thought about what he was doing at all. When
sounded like a young kid with a lot of money who was just throwing some bets out there. Yeah,
didn't even consider what was going on. And then somebody like Jontay Porter, bro, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught.
Why is there suddenly a bunch of weird bets on Jontay Porter's scoring total?
Yeah. Who would even know how Jontay Porter is feeling? His team probably doesn't even care that much,
right?
Considering he's not that important a player to the whole, plan of the Raptors. So yeah, there are things to be concerned about, but I do think that it's good that safeguards are in place. And also, Lo, when you consider the people who are going to go the lowest to get to do these things, they don't care what rules are about anything.
No.
If you are going to, you can put all the rules in place for whatever to try to prevent things. That's where I think sometimes we get confused with laws and rules. Look, laws are put in place, obviously, to try and prevent things. But if you have people that are dead set on doing a thing, you're not going to prevent it, but the law helps you punish them for doing said thing.
Yeah, when they're caught. Okay, here's the note in the USA Today. Porter is just the second NBA player since 2000 to be banned from the league. The other was O.J. Mayo in 2016, again, not gambling. And Roy Tarpley was banned for life because he couldn't stay clean, and that was in 1995.
Yeah, but O.J. Mayo, as it says, that was a 2-year ban. That was not a for-life ban. So really the only one was Tarpley, and that was drugs, right? That was just straight-up drug issues.
That's back when there was zero tolerance on it. Now, here's another note about Porter and how much money he made. In 2019 and 20, just under $200,000. And that was because of COVID affected the overall number. Then made $1.9 million the next year with the Grizzlies, $300,000 in 21-22. And then his salary, two-way contract for this year, was in the neighborhood of about $400,000+, and made just under $3 million in his career. And here he is looking for a little extra on the side.
Look, I would kill to have that be my annual salary. Everybody in this room would be just fine making that kind of money, but that's nothing NBA money. I can almost kind of see why he's betting.
Minimum is $1 million.
I can almost see why he's betting, because that's that has to be amongst the lowest, I think, contracts in the NBA or money totals, because it feels like some of them backup centers just have to get out of bed to make $500,000, on some of these contracts you see. That's
don't fly private,
right? Yeah, I mean, the NBA contracts are, at least the side that we typically talk about, are pretty luxurious and whatnot. So yeah, that's nothing money in the NBA.
The minimum salary for someone who makes the season at the start is $1.1 million. This is the first time the minimum salary has exceeded the $1 million mark. $1 million a year minimum for anybody who signs a contract, a one-year deal, or gets on the team as the season progresses.
Well, and he's also a guy who wasn't, a mainstay. He was with the Grizzlies for a couple ticks, and then, gone, and then back in the NBA this past seasons, and 23, 24. And so that was he's a guy who's, I don't even think he's played. Maybe he's played half a real NBA season in total, so that's why he would be making such low money. But yeah, it
was a two-way. What they call a two-way contract.
I'm saying the amount of games he's played in the NBA itself is it's not even a full season over 3 or 4 years. So that's why the money total is so low. But it's still just shocking to hear an NBA guy with that little amount of money. So you can see where, especially in that league, where, like I said, you can wake up and make $500,000. It seems like sometimes. You can see why he's trying to squeeze more out of that. But, yeah, he just cost himself so much more than the few $100,000 he at least had coming his way.
Max Olson will join us tomorrow.